We're back for episode 7 of John the Recruiter. Thanks for joining us. In episode 7, we're going to be talking about PDC, personally developed contacts. And this prospecting mode, I feel, is probably the least used for all recruiters. And this is one that's really not taught anymore. But if you master this one, this will make you great. This mode is one that I have already covered, mining and events, but I saved this mode before referrals because um, doing these three modes will all lead to you getting referrals. For PDC, personally developed contacts, this is where you go out and you personally develop your own leads or your own candidates. And you have to learn how to do this on your own, which can be very challenging, especially as a new recruiter. And one thing that I have talked about earlier is we talk about confidence and enthusiasm. And I believe a great recruiter is made up of confidence and enthusiasm. Well, let's talk about confidence and enthusiasm. Confidence is made up of two things: attitude and product knowledge. And enthusiasm is made up of two things: drive and motivation. And for a recruiter to have all of those things, you're going to be great. And if you have those things, that's going to make your PDC outstanding. Because if you have that drive and motivation, you're going to be able to go out in your territory and do things that other recruiters won't. And if you have a great attitude about it and you have the product knowledge, because when you get in front of people, you can talk and know about what you're talking about, and you'll be great at it. When you talk about the attitude, you talk about telling people, hey, I need you to go out in the area. I need you to find where, this school is or this specific thing is, and go talk to people. A lot of recruiters that I have dealt with in the past as a recruiting leader will automatically say, I'm not going to do that. I don't feel comfortable doing that. Well, to me, that's not a good attitude, or I've never been trained to do that. Okay, I can deal with that. How about I train you? But just to automatically say, hey, that's not something I'm willing to do, that's not a good attitude. The drive and motivation to want to be great at something, that's what's going to make you successful at this. And that's something that we'll talk about in this episode. With PDC, you need to go out and approach potential candidates one way or another. Most recruiters today rely on events and they rely on their social media only to recruit. If you want to stand out and be a great recruiter and be relentless, you got to use this other mode of prospecting, which is PDC, which is going out in your territory. And I know some recruiters don't have vehicles. Some recruiters, will say, I can't do this. Well, I was the recruiter that can't is not in my vocabulary. I'm going to do it regardless. I'm going to find ways to get that done. I'm going to find ways to visit those unemployment centers, those workforce developments, those schools, those areas that I'm going to talk about in this episode that are called target centers, that are places where either my candidates will hang out, that my candidates will go to find jobs for future employment or get information, just anywhere where I can reach people and talk about opportunities at my company. And within those target centers are what I like to call TCIs, target centers influencers. And those are people within those target centers that I can build relationships with that can give me referrals. And that's the whole key to PDCing, is you're going to meet people, build relationships with them, that they're going to give you referrals. And if you do that, and you have people pumping referrals to you, that's going to fill your funnel and make your job easy. And when you do that as a recruiter and you have referrals coming in, and then you're also working candidates from other prospecting modes, your job's this easier. Next thing you know, you're the superstar. and people are like, how are you doing this? And it's just like, I set up a prospecting plan to bring in all these candidates and make myself successful. And it's just a continuous flow of candidates coming in because you set up this referral market. And I'll talk about a referral market in my next episode. But as you're building your confidence and in PDC and you're building target centers and your TCIs, target center influencers, to better your referral markets coming in, you still have to go back and identify these places within your territory. Where do I want to visit? Well, what I like to do is, okay, what am I recruiting for? And what are target centers in my territory that I want to visit to hone in to find these positions where these people will be? So let's just say, for instance, I'm looking for software developers. And let's say the first place I'm going to look at is my biggest competitor in the area is in this location in my territory. Okay. Well, some people say, well, I'm not going to walk into a competitor. Okay. I have before. I've never been rudely asked to leave. Sometimes I've been politely asked to leave, and I did. Maybe I've waited some time, then walked back in. If it's a corporate office, maybe I don't just walk in someone else's corporate office and start recruiting. That's not really the thing to do. But what's around that corporate office? Maybe there's restaurants, maybe there's coffee shops, maybe there's places that those software engineers might go to just get away for a little bit, to just clear their minds or something else. Well, maybe I'll go to those places and I will put out things, maybe a business card, maybe, I'll set up my computer and do work there so I can run into these software engineers and start a conversation. I'm looking for target centers where I can go, where I can get face to face to these people and create an opportunity where maybe I can get their information or have a conversation with them, right? That's PDCing, and that's what's going to make you successful. And that's the whole key to this. It's just creating another avenue for you to get candidates. And these are candidates that are going to help you for positions you're looking for. It's not sitting there waiting for that candidate to apply. And you never know. Maybe they walked out to get a cup of coffee or left their corporate office to get lunch because they just had the worst morning ever and they got to get away. And you are the opportunity that they've been looking for, and you can get them.